Hiya, Wandjoo. Hello, welcome everybody back to Kira Yoga. It is the first official class of 2023. So I would like to start by acknowledging the traditional owners of the land on which I teach today, the Whadjuk people of the Noongar nation, and pay my respects to elders past, present, and emerging. Always was, always will be Aboriginal land. So prop-wise, bolster block blanket will keep you covered. Doggies are here, making their entrance. Nara's all big. Nara's so big. Nara is here. Pippi is here. They should be pretty quiet today. So if you have a yoga block, or if you don't, you can use a book. This one's nice and thick. You can also a firm pillow or a rolled up towel or blanket or both are handy to use instead of a block or bolster. I've got my little bolster here. Handy dandy. Okay, we're going to start with gratitude practice today to start off the new year right. So you can lie down on your mat if you want it to be extra restorative. This class is a Yin restorative class this year. So we're adding in even more rest, even more chillness for our Thursday nights to get us through to the weekend. It's perfect to teach and it's perfect to be a student of because it's chill all around, it's accessible and it's easy and it's relaxing, hopefully. So also if you want to set the vibe of your class, I'm a bit more talky for the first class back, but usually not this talky. So if you have a mat, great. If you don't, towel or just lie on the floor as long as it's supportive. Candles, incense, essential oils, anything that will set the moods, thinking of your senses. So you've got your touch with your support. We have usually soft gaze, or you can close down the eyes if that feels okay. We are trauma sensitive here. So you can leave whenever you want, you can join whenever you want, you can have your camera off. We're always muted, all the students are always muted, so you don't have to see anyone or talk to anyone. If you don't want, you can just practice in the comfort of your own home. Also works really well if you have chronic health stuff going on or mental health stuff and you just don't want to be out in the world where the people are. So I think that's about everything covered. Making sure you feel nice and cozy. You can even turn down the lights, have some music on in the background. I've got my Spotify playlist in the chat box, which is exactly an hour long. Here comes Nara with the ball, just to aggravate Pippa. They get a bit grumpy at each other sometimes. Hence why I pre-warn people that my dogs are going to be here. So if you're a dog person, you get it. They are sometimes chill, always entertaining. Okay, let's start with our gratitude meditation. As I said, you can be lying down on your back, you can have your eyes shut, you can have a soft gaze, you can be sitting up with me, whatever you like. I'm just going to read off a script. Hey, shush. Yoga time. Shh. It's enough. Okay, let's begin. Nara is 9.5 months. She's still learning the way of the yogis and when to be calm. Gets very excited and on the floor with her, I think. Okay. So, hello and welcome to this practice on gratitude. So, just finding a comfortable seat, lying down, closing down the eyes if you would like to. And let's begin by thinking about something in your life you are very grateful for. And think about where you can feel this sensation in your body. And just placing your hand in that spot. Maybe you'd like to place it on your chest or your belly or wherever else you would like. Let's start by giving gratitude the chance to come up naturally. And if it does come up, just let yourself sink into the feeling and surrender to it. Notice how it feels in your body, how your energy feels. And if it doesn't come up, that's okay. You don't need to try and make yourself feel it. Just try and surrender to whatever comes up for you. Now let's bring your awareness to your breath. And as you inhale and exhale, think about the fact that each of these breaths keeps you alive. And then be aware of your heart beating, pushing vital blood around your body. Bring your awareness to your eyes that let you see color, faces, smiles, nature, the sunrise, the sunset, the night sky. Bring your awareness to your ears that allow you to hear sound, music, laughter, bird song, and the voices of those you love, and motorbikes going past. Bring your awareness to your nose that can smell the salty ocean air, the flowers in bloom, the wafting smells that come from the kitchen, the smell of cupcakes in the oven. Bring your awareness to your lips and mouth that tastes and savors food that nourishes us. Lips that can speak and kiss, whistle, whisper, and sing. Bring your awareness to your hands that can hold and touch, open and close, applaud and squeeze. The arms and shoulders that carry and hug and lift and stretch. Bring awareness to your feet, your toes, the gift you have to wiggle them, transport you, walk, run, dance, leap, kick, and point. And what about your emotions? The ability to feel sad, happy, anger, hurt, joy, gratitude, love, pride, fear, loneliness, and be in awe. Being able to feel the full spectrum of emotions. What about gratitude for the strength that you seem to be able to muster to make it through each day? Bring your awareness to your strength. Your unique perspective. Your ability to feel and care, grow, evolve, and change. And now just breathe. Soften and surrender to this feeling of gratitude. Come back to where you feel this in your body. And now experience the warmth of this feeling and the compassion that gratitude brings to you. Bring your awareness to what is good in your life right now. Nurturing, loving relationships that make you feel safe and connected. The new ones and the older ones. Things that you have earned that make you feel good, that light you up. Efforts you have made that are paid off. Think of connections you have made, experiences you have had, places you have gone. When we remind ourselves of the good things in our life, we are more present with this feeling of gratitude. Now just breathe and feel this. Just breathing here. Starting to connect with your breath again. Feel free to take a few deep breaths. Feel the air drawing in through the nose, down into the lungs and the belly. Exhaling out softly. If you need to, just have a little stretch at the start of class here. Maybe moving your head side to side if you're lying down, gives you a little massage on the back of the head. Maybe stretching your arms up over your head, legs out long if you're lying down. Exhaling, sighing out the mouth, breathing here. So, as I said earlier, we're going to use the wall as our inspiration today, as our theme. So hopefully you have a wall nearby you. Thank you, Pippa. Nice Sphinx pose there. A wall near, or even if you can be up near a couch or a chair that you can use, something with a bit of structure to it would be handy. This is going to make the poses extra restorative. These are great to do if you're feeling quite tired, fatigued, run down, that sort of thing. I think a lot of us are feeling that at the moment, coming to the end of January. It's been a lot. We can finally celebrate our holidays properly again, and a lot of us have probably overdone it with the socializing and other things. We've had to make our way back into work. So be kind to yourselves. Go as slowly as you need to. Lie on your mat and fall asleep for an hour, whatever works for you. We're going to begin with our shoelace pose against the wall. So I'm going to be upside down for a lot of the class today. You should still be able to see me well. So shuffle yourself up near the wall, but have a little bit of a gap between your bottom and the wall. You can be on your back, making sure you've got support. You can even put a pillow under your head, which I will certainly be doing on the hardwood floors. So maybe just shuffle in here, have a little bit of movements. I always say I practice yin-ish, so if I need to move, I'll just move. I try and be as still as I can during the pose, but there's no harm in moving around and stretching things out in between the poses or at the start or the end of class. So we're coming into our thread the needle pose. So we're going to bend the knees up to a 90-degree angle. So our feet and our knees are kind of in line. We're using the wall here to hold our feet up. Knees are about hip width apart. I'm already noticing that I need to be further away from the wall. Shuffle myself in here and try not to move anything. So this is just, did I say thread the needle? I think I did. I meant figure 4 pose. So we're going to bring our left ankle on top of our right knee. I'm going to do this side first. So you can flex the foot here if you want a bit more activation, or you can just let it go floppy. As long as this knee doesn't come in towards the chest, we're still going to get a bit of a stretch. So yin, we still want to be working so that we feel a bit of a stretch, but they're in quite, I always forget the word, like passive poses so that we can hold it for that extended period of time. Beginners, usually 1 to 3 minutes. You might like to hold certain poses for 3 to 5 minutes, depending on how strong it is. So here we're in our figure 4 pose. It's probably quite restorative version to what you're used to. If you do have energy and you want to work a little harder, you can totally go into the usual yin version. You can put your foot off the wall and pull this right leg in towards you. This is going to increase the stretch in the inner thigh and the groin and probably the left hip a bit as well. You can keep your feet activated if you like. I just like to provide a lot of options because we've all got different bodies and anatomy and experiences and energy levels and things to do during our day that are different environments. So you can be here and you can clasp your hands in front of that knee if you want the most stretch. You can also go behind the knee, gives yourself a little bit more leeway, less stretch. Put that foot on the wall if you liked that restorative version. Breathing here. I really encourage you to sigh out the mouth as many times as you need. You can even use sound here if you like. Feels weird, but that's why it's a good place to do it, because we're in the comfort of our own home. We're muted, we can't hear each other. I'll just show you what it sounds like. So inhaling through the nose. exhaling. Breathing. Won't be here for much longer, just a couple more breaths. Inhaling and exhaling. Final breath together. Inhaling and exhaling. Unraveling the foot, bringing it back to the wall. You can go straight into the other side if you really feel like it, or you can stretch your legs out long and have a bit of a rebound here. It's totally up to you. This is your practice. Everything is your choice. Everything is optional. We're trying to empower our students to find the practice that works for them so that it's consistent, so that it provides stability in your life, which allows you to feel safe and calm, so that you can restore your energy levels and your capacity. I think a lot of people say that yoga just makes them a better person, makes everything better in some way or another. Helps your mind to be calm, helps your body to feel good, which helps you to be there for yourself and for others, your relationships, your work, your goals, your pets. Inhaling here, coming to the other side if you haven't done so already. Left foot on the wall this time, right ankle on top of the left knee, pushing that right knee away. Flexing the feet or just letting them be passive. Staying here, or maybe clasping the hands in front of the left knee or behind the left knee. Seeing what feels good for you. Doesn't have to be the same as the other side either. Our bodies aren't symmetrical. Closing down the eyes or soft gaze. Be here for another minute or so. Breathing here, just another couple of breaths. Inhaling and exhaling. Exhaling, unraveling. If you've got the room, you can come down to some windscreen wipers where you are. I'm going to go into a few more wall poses. Taking your time here in windscreen wipers, breathing on one side, exhaling to the other side, pausing for a moment, inhaling. And just one more time on each side. And when you're ready, we're going to bring our legs out in dragonfly. So you might want to be a little bit closer to the wall now. Shuffle your bum in. Again, making sure you're comfy. You've got a good foundation to you. Maybe your hands out by the sides or even in T-shape here. So we're going to go into dragonfly pose. So you make this as wide as you like. You might be familiar with doing this in a seated position and just bringing your legs out wide. So you might go really wide and that feels good for you. You might bring them in. You might even feel better with them closer together. Remembering that we want this to be sustainable. We're going to be here for a couple of minutes. So making sure that you're not in a pose that is too strong and it's going to lead to a lot of discomfort and pain. That's not what we want in yoga. It's not the intention at all. We want to be in a pose where we can soften down. Still getting a little bit of a stretch perhaps. Still feeling like the body's doing something, but just letting the mind switch off into almost a meditative state here in these yin postures. Just got a minute to go. So if you want to adjust, make the pose a little stronger so you're still feeling that stretch, or you just want to stay where you are or back off, do what feels good to you. Breathing here. Just another couple of breaths, inhaling and exhaling, bringing the legs back together. Just being nice and slow here. That was a long one. Slowly bring the legs down, draw the knees in, rocking side to side. Give yourself a little squeeze, a little hug. Breathing here. Softening down.
we're going to come into our final wall pose on our back for now. So this one is a bit strong again. This is our butterfly pose. So we're bringing the soles of our feet together, our knees out wide. You might just want to play around for a second with how far away your bum is to the wall. Mine is quite close here. That feels good for me. And then also your feet with how close they are to your body. You can also use your hands to press your knees out if you want a bit more stronger stretch sensation. This is not feeling good for you. You can just lay down flat on your back. You can come into butterfly on your back with your feet on the mat. You can also prop under your knees if you're lying on your back out flat. Again, making sure you've chosen a pose that is sustainable. We won't be here for as long this time. This one is quite strong. Feeling this in the inner thighs, maybe the quads and the buttocks as well, and the groin. Breathing here. Using your breath as that anchor to keep you here, to keep you still, to keep you present. Just another 30 seconds or so. Softening down where you can. And slowly bringing the knees back together, no rush. Quite a strong pose. Want to make sure we're protecting our joints. Bring the knees together, give yourself another squeeze, or just taking anything else that feels good right now. Eventually make our way onto our belly. There's no rush. You can add in some movement here. Slowly rolling onto your side. This one is going to be a bit more interesting on camera. So I'm going to bring my knees up towards the wall. Again, a bit funny position to get into, but my feet are going to go up the wall. And then I'm going to lie down, use my blanket. So coming down onto my elbows, and I'm going to shuffle myself forward onto my belly. Okay, then I'm going to press my knees and my lower legs into the wall. This one is a good one to have that pillow in front of you, or even your bolster. You can place that just in front of you for your elbows or your head, or you can even bring your bolster or rolled up blanket underneath. Just careful with this because you are coming into a stronger back bend to get into it, under the ribs, and that'll help prop you up. So I'm in position now, so I can't exactly show you my back, but being quite upright here will give you a stronger back bend, a stronger arch. Being lower down, our back's going to be more flat, so you might want to remove, if you tried that, prop underneath the ribs, and you might just want to flatten yourself out. Bend your elbows, have your forearms down on the floor, use your forearms as a pillow for your head. Just trying to find that height that feels good for your back and sustainable for the next couple of minutes. We'll be here for a little while. I'm going to be quite low, so the back is a bit stiff today. And that's the thing as well, it really depends week to week, day to day when you do these poses. Sometimes you might go really deep into it and that feels great. Other times, for whatever reason, it might not feel as good. You might just like another version. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. Very standard. It would be quite odd if our bodies just did the same thing week after week. There wouldn't be any change, any growth there. Making sure you're comfortable, making any adjustments you need to for the last minute. Enough. Yeah, on your bed. Come on. Pippa. Good girl. Come on. Come on. On your bed. Come on. Good girl. Apologies for the interruption. Every now and then there's a bark and Pippa hearing something outside. Inhaling and exhaling, slowly unraveling. Might feel nice to just roll onto your side here. Maybe bring your knees up to your chest, or even come up and over a child's pose. Be a good little rebound pose here. A tadpole pose, I think it is, when we go curl into ourselves, knees together, head down onto the mat or onto a prop, hands down by the side towards the hips. Breathing here as long as you like. Inhaling and exhaling. I'm going to come fully up to standing, which we don't usually do. But this one just sounded too good not to do. Again, we're using the wall, so we've got our support here. So I'm just going to use the wall to lean back on. Again, play around with where you would like your feet. But we're just going to dangle forward. So feet about hip width apart. And then I'm just going to flop forward to my forward fold and show you what it looks like on the side. So it doesn't really matter how far forward your body comes as long as it feels comfortable. And then we've got the wall there for support. You can put some of our weight there as well. Let your head drop down and be floppy. You might want to rock side to side. Maybe grab the elbows for a little bit of a semicircle. This definitely isn't a yin pose technically, but It's quite passive in nature, so we'll count it. This can feel good if you've got tight hamstrings as well. Just another one of those counter poses that we don't find ourselves in this position in daily life. So it's good for the body, especially if we've been sitting all day, to come into a pose like this. It lets our lower back release. Get a bit of a stretch on that psoas muscle, a huge muscle that goes from our lower back around to our front pelvic area. Maybe even stretching out the legs, straightening them, seeing what that feels like in the backs of the legs, or maybe we're bending them so that it's more comfortable and we can come lower down. Just letting the whole upper body flop down in whichever way suits you. Let's be here for a little while longer, just another couple of breaths. Let the neck and the shoulders release. Hang heavy here. Breathing here. And then we're going to step our feet out just a bit wider, maybe coming forward so we've got that room behind us. And then sitting down through Malasana, just using this as a transition pose. Using your hands for balance if you like. And then if your knees are okay, you can sit right back on your bottom, come forward. Otherwise, you might want to come back up to standing to sit down if your knees aren't good for that. So we're here in our seated pose. We're just going to come to a comfortable seat. You might like to prop up onto a pillow under your hips. That will help tilt your pelvis so that you feel yourself flop forward almost, so that your knees drop down. Gives you a bit more room to work with. Lets your lower back release as well. Makes things more accessible. Take a little moment here if you need. Maybe some neck rolls. Absolutely no rush in these classes, no expectations. Do what feels right for you. I'm going to come into a spinal twist now. So we're going to inhale, the hands up above the head. Exhale, twist to look behind us, and then drop the hands down. Left hand is coming to our right knee. We can use our right hand to push onto the wall if that's accessible, or just grabbing the right shoulder can work as well. Looking over behind us to the wall. Inhaling, lengthening the spine, sitting up straight. Exhaling, twisting, looking behind us. See if we can get a bit more twist through the spine. Breathing here as we exhale. Inhaling, hands up, coming forward again. Exhaling, twisting around to the left side, right hand onto the left knee, left hand behind us onto the wall or onto our left shoulder. Breathing here. Inhaling and exhaling, twisting, coming back forward, little neck rolls. We'll do one more on each side. You can go as strong as you like and really twist, or you can barely twist, whatever feels better for your back today. Inhaling up, exhaling, twisting, left hand behind you. Sorry, left hand to right knee, right hand behind you. Breathing here, exhaling, hands up, exhaling around to the left, right hand, left knee, left hand behind you. Again, not strictly a yin pose, but it just kind of works with all these other wall poses, getting a bit of movement and stretch in there as well. Breathing here, inhaling, exhaling back to the front, inhaling, hands up, exhaling down, hands to knees. Awesome work. So we're going to finish with Our legs up the wall for our final pose before Shavasana. So I'll give you a couple of options for this one. Again, you can have something underneath your hips, so your bum especially can be good at the end of class when it's extra comfy and cozy. Doesn't matter if we fall asleep. If you're not a fan of these legs up the wall pose, you can just come into Shavasana, lie down on your back. Have some extra time there. If you want to come into legs up the wall, just play around with how close you want your bottom. And I'm just going to go for the standard feet hip width apart, arms out by the side, kind of away from the body. Almost like a Shavasana, but with our legs up instead of out long. And slight tuck of the chin towards the chest, lengthening out the spine. Closing down the eyes or soft gaze. You can even have something over the eyes, can feel nice with a little weight on them. Breathing here, exhaling, sighing out the mouth, letting your body know you've arrived in this final yin pose. If you prefer, you can try one of the poses we've already done, bringing your legs out wide or into butterfly, or even just against the wall in 90 degrees. You might want your bottom further away from the wall here. Whatever sounds good to you. We'll be here for the next couple of minutes before Shavasana. Inhaling and exhaling. You can count your breath. You can do those big, deep inhales, exhales, sighing out the mouth. You can do your belly breath if you know that one, or you can just let your breath go entirely. Coming back into that kind of meditative state one more time. Just another minute to go here. Seeing how present you can be with your breath, with your body, using these to anchor yourself in this present moment. Inhaling and exhaling one more time. Inhaling and exhaling, unraveling, slowly bringing the knees in towards the chest, down towards the ground, coming to your side. When you're ready, just making your way into Shavasana. You don't have to do this on your back in the traditional pose. You can be on your belly, on your side, wherever you like. You can put something underneath your knees. Be as restorative as you possibly can. Be as comfortable as you possibly can. For the last few minutes of class, we have a good 3 or 4 minutes here. If it's a bit cool where you are, make sure that you've got a jumper on or a blanket you can put over yourself. Tuck your feet in. Maybe even some weight on your chest can feel nice with any extra props you have around. Hands down by the side or on the belly, closing down the eyes or soft gaze. Breathing here. There's nothing left to do. You've made it to the final resting pose. Just letting your body soften down, become heavy on the mat. Inhaling and exhaling. Slowly starting to deepen the breath. Gently starting to get some movement in the fingers and the toes, beginning to roll the wrists and the ankles. Joining me in a full body stretch, bringing the arms up over the head, legs out long. Thanking yourself for making the time and effort to practice today. It's not always easy, especially after a long break. So well done on coming to class today or watching this back later and practicing. When you're ready, rolling onto your side, staying here for a couple of breaths. And every now and then I'll ask you to think of 3 things that you're grateful for today. And when you're ready, just slowly starting to make your way up to a comfortable seat. Thank you all so much for joining me here in 2023 at Kira Yoga. I thank you all so much for your support so far and your ongoing support. I really appreciate it. And I hope to see you in class again soon.